Okay guys, in this video, first I'll go back to the last video and go over a couple comments, and then we're going to go over some news, and then we're going to go over a couple of Q proofs, because Q proofs are very, very important. Q proofs is what allows you to see that Q is not a LARP. It encourages and edifies or strengthens you to keep up with what's going on. It helps you to see that Q knows what he's doing, or they know what they're doing. They are in control, and everything's good to go. Remember, Q is at the finish line. Literally, he is at the finish line. All we're doing is waiting for the public to catch up. We're waiting for the scripted movie to catch up. And as the scripted movie unfolds, they make adjustments according to what exactly takes place in the public realm. But Q is already sitting at the finish line. All that we're waiting on is for the public to wake all the way up, step by step by step in the scripted movie. That's what the news is for. That's why the news unlocks the Q posts and all these kinds of things. Q tells you a month, 2 months, a year, year and a half ahead of time what's going to happen. It's already done. And that's a very, very important to understand. And that's what Q proofs do for us. Q proofs literally allow you to see into the future, because Q's already done. He's already at the finish line, or they, or whatever you want to call it. Remember, symbolism will be their downfall. Remember, all the symbolism goes back to the pharaohs. It also goes back to the Canaanites. All of it all ties back to Cain and Cain's children. Okay, symbolism will always be their downfall. Now, before we really get going in this video, there's something I want to mention. It's something that Trump says over and over and over again, and the vast majority, I would say about anywhere from 89 to 95% of the people, including patriots, do not grasp what he's saying. It's like the wall. When he started talking about the wall, at first, the vast majority of people out there just thought it was the wall between the United States and Mexico, having to build a physical wall. And that indeed is what he was talking about, but it had two way more significant meanings that everyone discovered as time went forward. It had a spiritual meaning, a wall to block out the spiritual demons and spirits and those kinds of things, but yet allow the good angels to come and go. It's a spiritual wall, and also a communications wall, in which the deep state would not be able to get into the communications of the Q operation, except the disinformation and other information that they released through the Q post. Okay, so the wall itself had a significant meaning to it. The other thing that Trump says, and this is what we're going to cover first before we get into the news, the other thing that Trump says quite often is America first. America first. And for the average person out there, that means get our jobs, fix the economy, bring all these jobs back to America, fix our cities, work on America first. And indeed, that is what it means, okay? Just like the wall does in fact mean the southern border wall. It's important. The only way you're going to stop these drugs from coming in, the only way you're going to stop the human trafficking, the only way you're going to stop the diseases, the only way you're going to stop the onslaught of socialites that they're moving through the border, and the Islamic army that the Vatican made, stop them from coming through. You got to have the physical wall in order to stop what they had planned to do under Hillary Clinton. Okay, it's the same thing with make America first. First and foremost, we need to get our jobs back. We need to get all these companies back in America. Yeah, all that needs to happen, and it is happening. He's been working on that. But America first means what it means. It means the first thing that we have to do, the Q team, the Patriots, have to do is gain back control of America. We lost it in 1871 when the Vatican Corporation was set up, called the United States, the all capital letter name, the United States. the first thing we had to do is get back control and make America first. So first thing was to go and get back control of America. That's what he's trying to say. Every time he says America first, he's talking about bringing down the deep state in America first and foremost, and then after we've done that and we get the deep state out, which will hopefully happen by about 2020, because you got October, November, September, October, November, December, you're going to be having trials and all different things go on. And then hopefully at that point, remember guys, every single individual that hears my voice today, you need to go register to vote if you're not registered. I stopped voting when I realized the entire thing was rigged. Okay, I've already gone and registered to vote. Everybody that knows what's going on needs to get out and vote this year, period. You the people, we the people, have the power back, literally. These votes will count, and that's why Q is bringing up the voter ID thing right now over and over again on the Q drops. I'm not going to cover the Q drops today, guys, because there's not going to be enough time, but I'll get back to covering them. There's just, yesterday I wasn't able to put a video up because there's 200 comments, and like Q tells us, answer the questions, and I'll show you that in a Q drop here in just a second. But that it's important that if you have understanding, you need to answer the questions that are asked. Why? Because you lift that person up from their deep, dark programming up to your level, okay? And hopefully there's other people that are lifting us up to their level, so that everyone's on the exact same level and understanding, and that empowers everybody, because the deceptions and lies go away. But make America first is all about taking out the deep state in America, which is the without that happening, we can't help the rest of the world. We all get taken over. So first and foremost is America. America first. You take down the deep state cabal in America first, and then we are back to being who we are, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all, and we go out under the earth to all the nations of the earth and help. If people don't want their dictator removed, then we're not going to go remove it for them. But if the people are crying out, we'll be there to help them, set them free, and so forth and so on. And we'll go nation by nation and nation by nation by nation, and the final one being what? Zionism. That's the final battle. That's the final part that goes down in the very end. So hopefully, after the elections, we will have a red wave, which, get a red wave, then we have the House, the Senate, and the executive office. At that point, we can begin to change the laws, reestablish the common law, get rid of these foreigner courts, these illegal courts that are in the land right now, that are foreigners, that are executing taxes from us. To put it lightly, literally they're stealing from the public. Okay, but America first, guys. America first. Let's get into some news articles. That's what he means by America first. Okay, yes, the jobs, all that, but what he's stating, what he's talking about, is bringing down the deep state cabal in America first. Once that's accomplished, we can go out and do what we do, which is help the other nations to free the people and to put the people back in power all over the earth and give them their freedom back and peace. And that's what we stand for. We stand for peace. Now, we got taken over, and we stood for the exact opposite for a very, very, very long time, and a lot of damage was done on the earth. Okay, so let's get into the news articles, guys. I just hope that will help you to understand what he means by America first. This keeps coming up in various types of comments, that America needs to take care of themselves first. Yeah, that's what Trump says. That's what he's saying. We're doing just that. We are taking down the deep state cabal that's entrenched in the United States. Once that happens, we can really begin to help all the peoples of the earth. So, America first. Okay, so over here on Gateway Pundit, gatewaypundit.com, we have this article here: Socialism is a bore. Democrats lose 43% of their audience in second debate. So, we can see the plans coming together, and the Democrats are slowly but steadily falling apart. The American public, that is, those who still sleep, are gradually realizing that these people want nothing to do with helping America, but rather want to help Mexico and other foreign nations to take over America. It's slowly becoming clearer and clearer in the public. Again, all we're waiting for, Q's at the finish line, all we're waiting for is for the scripted movie to catch up. Okay? And that's what you're watching. You're literally watching it with your eyes as the people wake up to the realities of what's really been going on. These are socialists. These people here, socialism is a bore. They lost 43%, almost half of their audience. And I bet that half that remained was actually us, the patriots, that went and watched the debate to see the debacle, to see the craziness, to see the stupidity, to see how obvious it is. You know what I'm saying? That 43% that remained was most likely the patriots themselves. At this point, the public is pretty much waking up to the fact of who these people are, that they are indeed an enemy of this nation and of the people. I'm not going to read the article. You guys can come read it. It's not too long, guys. It's actually really short. So anyway, let's get on to the next one. Okay, over on the dailycaller.com, we got this. This is awesome. The Senate confirmed 13 Trump judges while America watched Democrats debate. So while those 57% that remained watching the debate were watching it, what took place is that the Senate confirmed 13 Trump judges. That's powerful, guys. That's extremely powerful. 13 new judges on Trump's side and all about the Constitution and the law of the land. The Senate confirmed 13 judges President Donald Trump chose while America had its eyes on the Democratic primary debates Tuesday and Wednesday. Though Senate Republicans had initially planned to confirm 19 Trump judges before leaving Washington, D.C. for August recess, they successfully confirmed 4 nominees Tuesday and 9 Wednesday. I'm going to skip that part there. For too long, fairly uncontroversial judicial nominees, just like these, have been held up and delayed by our Democratic colleagues, even when vacancy qualifies as a judicial emergency, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said during a speech on the Senate floor Wednesday, The Hill reported. Uncontroversial district judges used to be confirmed promptly in big groups by voice vote, he continued. Confirmations include the following district court nominees: Karen Emmergut for the District of Oregon, John Milton Younge. Forgive me for the names, guys. I'm not good with names. For the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, Mary M. Rawlin. For the Northern District of Illinois, Martin Pittman. To the Northern District of Texas, Jeffrey Brown. To the Southern District of Texas, Brantley Starr. To the Northern District of Texas, Martha Picold. To the Northern District of Illinois, Jason Pulliam. To the Western District of Texas, William Stickman IV. To be the Western District of Pennsylvania, Michael T. Liberty. For the District of Arizona, Peter D. Welt. For the District of North Dakota, James Wesley Hendricks. For the Northern District of Texas, and Sean D. Jordan for the Eastern District of Texas. A lot of Texas, my state. So anyway, that's good news, guys. That's excellent news. That's going to allow us to move forward a lot more rapidly as we begin to work with laws and different things in the future. And just in case you didn't hear about this, I'm sure you did, sure everybody did, new documents did reveal that Jeffrey Epstein was an FBI informant under Bob Mueller. I'll leave the link for the article in the show more below the video, so you guys can come watch, read it if you want to. Not very long, but I want to go ahead and get into some Q proofs. Post number 3230, he gives this right here, and he says, shall we play another Q proof game? Q proofs are very important, guys. Over in post number 2971, he gives us Twitter link here. We're not going to check that out, but he says, listen carefully, referring to the proof versus evidence. Democratic Party con, define evidence, noun. Here's what evidence means: the available body of facts or information indicating whether a belief or proposition is true or valid. Okay, here's an example. The study finds little evidence of overt discrimination. Synonyms: proof, confirmation, verification, substantiation, corroboration, affirmation, authentication, attestation, documentation, and then he says define proof. Proof, noun, 1, evidence, or arguments establishing or helping to establish a fact or the truth of a statement. So arguments establishing or helping to establish a fact or the truth of a statement. Okay? You will be asked to give proof of your identity. Synonyms: evidence, verification, corroboration, authentication, confirmation, certification, validation, attestation, demonstration, substantiation, witness, testament. Proof equals evidence. Okay, remember, remove the question mark. He has to ask a question because it's military intelligence, so he can't just give you the answer. But he does by asking a question, and you remove the question mark. Proof equals evidence. We know it right here. Define proof, evidence, or argument establishing or helping to establish a fact, or the truth of a statement. Okay? Now, again, proofs are important because it provides the evidence that Q is not a LARP to those who are in a state of questionability. There's a lot of people that for whatever reason, they have one foot over here saying, well, maybe we're not at the end time yet, and they're tricking us, and have the other foot over here sitting here saying, okay, everything's good to go, Trump's taking them down, Q team's taking them down, but they're undecided and they're sitting on the fence, not knowing which way to go. What Q proofs do is give you the evidence to allow you to say, okay, I finally see it is legit, it is real, it is happening, and all these kinds of things. So Q proofs are important, very, very important. Okay, now over here on post 2810, he says start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Small sampling of proofs. Patriots in control. You are the news now. Okay, because remember, the news is over here trying to say Q is a LARP, Q does this, Q's that, Q that, Q is the one that caused this guy to go and murder everybody. Q's the one that done this. A LARP, a LARP, a LARP. Okay, so he said use the proofs, to establish the news, the truth of reality. The Q proofs are absolutely critically important. We're only going to go over one or two today, guys, but what I'm going to do is every now and then I'll make some videos with Q proofs because it's very, very important. We got post number 2788. It says, how can an entity known only as Q, faceless, nameless, fameless, etc., begin to ask questions on 4chan, now 8chan, and build something of this magnitude? How can this same Q entity garner such a massive amount of worldwide mainstream media fake news attention, which is attacks? How is it possible this Q entity can forecast future events or know when the POTUS is about to tweet? How is it possible future proofs past regarding information provided? Like every time he provides something, we go down the road, time goes forward, we go, boom. We go back and we say, okay, he predicted that, he called that, he said that 3 months ago, he said that 8 months ago, he said that a year ago. There's been many videos where we, when the news comes out, we have to go back and say, look, this is when he told us back here, way back here. And that's why he also embeds other posts into current posts to show you that what he said in the past is happening today. It throws the media way off. Check it out. Okay, so how is it possible, future proofs past regarding information provided? How is it possible this Q entity, an entity who began by merely asking questions on 4chan, 8chan, was able to fill in the blank? Okay, do what he does, to be able to forecast the future the way that he is capable of doing it and being proved right over and over again, never being found in error, not ever. Okay, the scriptures tell us that if you want to know if someone's a prophet or not, they have to get it 100% correct. They can't miss one time, or they're not a true prophet of the Lord. I'm not saying that Q is a prophet. Like I said, Q's already at the finish line. Everything's already done. We're waiting for the scripted movie to catch up. That's why he said get your popcorn out, get it all seasoned up, get it ready to go, get your bowl right there. Get you a big bowl, because it's going to take some time to get through this movie. All right, this is a live movie, literally live. We're watching it live. Okay, now here's what he says. People are craving truth. Okay, why? Because they have the spirit of truth. Because the spirit has entered them. The heavenly spirit has entered them, and they have the spirit of truth. Once it's in you, that's all you want to do. Seek, 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 seek. Just don't forget to ask and to knock as well, because it's important. He says, seek, knock, and ask. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. And ask and you shall receive. Okay, people are craving the truth. People are craving transparency. People are craving equal justice under the law. People are craving good. People are craving right. People are craving true freedom. People are craving safety and security. People are craving fill in the blank. Proofs. Negate falsehood, conspiracy attacks. Those who attack have an agenda or remain plugged into the biggest disinformation campaign to be ever witnessed. Ask yourself, why are liberals always angry? Why do they curse? Why do they slander? Why do they create emotional outbursts? Why are they violent? All these kinds of things. And he comes down here, and again, how do you know your enemy? You know them by their fruit. Number one, first and foremost, it's not on this board here, but number one, first and foremost, they are a liar. Remember, they are the children of the wicked one. Their father was a liar from the beginning. When he speaks a lie, he speaks of himself. It comes from himself. He doesn't have any truth. He has no truth whatsoever inside of him, meaning his children have no truth inside of them either. They cannot speak the truth, neither will they ever speak the truth, because there is no truth in them. Only darkness, only lies, only deceptions, only sorcery, only spells, and so forth and so on. They want you divided, okay? How do they want you divided? They want you divided by race, by class, by religion, by political affiliation, divided as human beings, right? There's aliens out there. Divided, you are weak. Together, you are strong. When you are strong, you think for yourself. And that's the whole point. To learn to think logically and to think for yourself and to not be influenced by another person. That's why, like, when I comment in my videos, I tell you, don't believe me. Go do your research, get the actual facts, and you decide for yourself using logical thinking. Think for yourself. It's important, because this is what they didn't teach you in school. They taught you in school to memorize whatever they told you, and if you memorize it long enough, it becomes a belief. Whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. If everyone believes the same thing, even if it's a lie, the illusion's real. Everybody thinks it's real. Okay, and then we have post number 1114. Got Pepe dancing. Remember, one of the things he did when Moses was trying to get the Israelites freed from the Pharaohs. The Pharaohs are the same people that are in control today, guys. There's no difference. Okay, cyclical. The earth, excuse me, there's something go by. Sorry about the background noise. Anyways, the earth, the events of the earth are cyclical, so it's the same thing over and over and over again until the final event, which is the final event that we're coming into here now. Okay, so let's just go down here, and it says this right here. What needs to be understood to appreciate what's going on here is the fact that Q is basically creating a circular flow diagram that can be referenced and cross-checked with news releases. Q can't just disclose specifics about a situation or operation without violating security protocol. Instead, they drop questions and statements that lead to answers that can be understood once the subject becomes public. Okay? Once it becomes public. So Q's already at the finish line. That's what all these drops are for, and he continues to drop more drops in order to aid in our understanding as things become available in the public realm or in the scripted movie side of it. Okay, this is what we were talking about earlier in this video. Okay, this provides the validation necessary for the public to believe the Great Awakening is legit. Disinformation and misdirection with Q is real. In other words, Q is pointing over there, but really the focus is here. And only until you publicly get the news can you go back and understand what he was trying to say. Think Saudi Arabia drops. All of this is accomplished without giving up specific details about the operation. It's quite genius. So now you understand the Q operation and the need for the Q proofs. Okay, over in post 768, it has a couple of things to say, and then we come down here. They are stupid. They bring more eyes. The proofs are important. Proofs provide new eyes ability to question. In other words, as people come out of their slumber, they begin to question. When they see a proof, they look at a proof and they see the validation of the Q operation, then they begin to question what has been going on with this media and this narrative that's been fed to them all their life. In other words, Q proofs literally red pill people. For those who are already awake and already involved in all of this, a Q proof edifies and strengthens that belief and enables you to stand stronger in what as these deceptions and lies and wizardry, all this stuff takes place, and allows, and it emboldens you to stand with the full armor of God on and to confront the enemy who operates in darkness. And as soon as you shine up in light, they shut down, or they run off, they scatter, they go in like cockroaches. You turn on the light, they just disappear. They go into little crevices and cracks and stuff because they only operate in darkness. And then it says this board has become, in the coming months, will be spread and discussed across all platforms. This is coming very, very, very soon as D-Class begins. The waterfall of D-Class starts to take place. When you see the waterfall of D-Class start to take place, then at that point, this board is going to become very, very important. Not necessarily the board itself, but the various Twitter accounts, the various YouTube accounts, the various accounts out there that are able to get into this board, understand the board, and to help others to comprehend what was being dropped in the boards is going to become very, very important, and it's going to be discussed everywhere. This 8chan board or the 4chan board. Important to be prepared. We will help. Truth always wins, and truth always, always wins. Q. Post 179. There's some different code that's going on in this, and then he comes down here and it says guide to reading the map, question mark. Again, remove the question mark because it's military intel. Okay, so guide to reading the map. The legend, here's the legend. The past, all the drops, all the things he's already put into the drops, provides the future. Questions provide the answers. Lord D. Rothschild plus target, so they were targeting Lord D. Rothschild at the time. But again, the legend is to the Q map is the Q drops themselves, and the proofs questioning going in and making questions and then mapping it out in such a way that you end up with a Q proof that validates everything that's happened so far. And that, if we go down here, let's see, learn to read the map. Trying really hard is like herding kittens in here sometimes. We may have overestimated your ability. You come to us for certain strengths, but there are weaknesses as well, some being exploited. Not enough focus. Answer the questions, build the big picture, break it back down, make memes for the normies to calm and educate. So we'll be ready for the storm. Okay? Answer the questions that people ask. This is why, my last video, 200 plus comments, and I have replied to every single one of them. Answer the people's questions. It lifts them up. It brings clarity to all the darkness that's all around them in life today. It's important, and by answering the questions, it builds the big picture in that individual's head who is still trying to get some of the sleep out of their eyes. It's extremely, extremely important. Never degrade an individual. Never look at someone like, well, you should already know that. Ever. Don't ever do that. You and I are no greater than any other person on the earth. We're all equals. Each and every single one of us that are the children of the kingdom are brothers and sisters. The children of the wicked one, they're all brothers and sisters. Okay? You got two classes of people, as I described in my last video. So when you're dealing with these people that are asking questions and they're seriously interested, trying to understand the bigger picture, trying to get a grasp of reality, which is a difficult thing to do when you're, engulfed in darkness from programming all of our lives, then it's important to answer their questions, because this enables them to build the bigger picture in their own mind and get closer and closer and closer to real reality. He also tells you to break it down for him, break it back down. You see, a lot of times in my comments, I'll go back and I'll break it down into different details so that the picture begins to be built for the individual, lifting the individual up to the understanding of everybody else. And then he says, make memes for the normies. That's the regular people, and to calm and to educate. Memes are very important, guys. Memes. There's a lot of people that they don't have the patience to go read articles. They don't have the patience to go watch videos. They don't have the patience to do such, whatever. A lot of the microwave society today, especially the younger generation that want it here, want it now, want the answer here and now, a meme provides that. They can go through their Facebook, scroll through their DARPA app, and they see a meme and they'll read the meme, but they'll skip a news article or a YouTube channel or whatever, but they'll read that meme. And so memes are important to reach down to the younger generation, because they will definitely read memes, and the funnier they are, then the better off you are with that meme. But every meme has a truth in it, and that's the point. Put a truth into a meme and then put it out, and this will calm and educate both the patriots that are awake and also those who are still asleep. Okay, here is a type of proof. This is not a genuine proof, but it is a type of a proof to kind of give you an idea, and then we'll go over one or two real proofs, and then we'll end the video. So it says, history: Trump publicly recognizes his QAnon army. Q turned around and he directly pointed to this individual that's wearing the Q, and pointed directly to the shirt, and he did it 3 different times. And down here it talks about, we serve at the pleasure of the president. We left the decision on timing to him. Today at the rally he made his decision. Shift in tactics, attacks, Q. Okay, 6/2018. Okay, over here, November 5th, this is what a Q brought this over into the Q drops. Did they get the shot? This shot right here that you're looking at. I pointed directly at it 3 times. I turned and I double pointed just to be clear. Did they pick up the boom, boom, boom? Something is happening. Yes, Mr. President. Anons are actively tracking. Message received. Good. That's good. Q. And so you can see that Trump himself several times, many times, the Q baby, for example, is another time, but many times has pointed directly at Q to validate that Q is real, is true, is part of the operation, irregardless of what mainstream media is telling everybody. And this is why Trump uses his Twitter. His Twitter account is because it goes around mainstream media, and he says things in his tweets in order to activate the mainstream media to go over something over and over and over again, which is usually, most of the time, a setup against them, like a misspelled word or something that appears to be racist, but when you read the whole thing, it's really not, and so forth and so on. He activates the media. He knows the media will jump on it, and then that leads to other things. So let's get into some Q posts. Okay, here's an example of a Q proof. Q mentions $7.8 million on December 10th, 2017 in post number 325. So here's post number 325 down here. Remember, any time you see a post number that only has 3 digits, that is the Patriot Fight Board, and that is Q's own personal board. Okay, you can't post to it. Anons can't post to it. That's his own personal board. But he says here, blunt and direct time. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country. Leaker. National security. Evil. TikTok. Hope the 7.8 million was worth it. Enjoy the show. Q. Okay, and then it says the next day, the very next day, Breitbart article on $7.8 million settlement comes out on December 11th. And so you come over here and you look at this. It is 11 December 2017. And down here, the post was 10 December 2017. The very next day, $7.8 million settlement against biomedical companies accused of profiting from fetal tissue cells. So the next day, the Q drop is absolutely proven. But even furthermore, he not only proves to be accurate and correct, but he also brings out the idea and the concept that fetal tissues are being sold on the market. Okay, this is before he starts talking about red, which is the Red Cross, or any of the other stuff, or anything. Okay, this is way before any of this stuff comes out on the market. He already threw a hint of where things are going. So in other words, Q knew a day in advance that this article was coming out, and he said, I hope it was worth it, Mr. Leaker, Mr. Adam Schiff, and that's what Donald J. Jump called him a little bit later down the road. He said, finally, little Adam Schiff, the leaking monster of no control, is now blaming the Obama administration for Russia meddling in 2016 election. He is finally right about something. Obama was president, knew of the threat, and did nothing. Thank you, Adam. But little Adam Schiff, leaking monster, blunt and direct time. Adam Schiff is a traitor to our country, leaker. Okay, everything is tied together. Let's go to a different Q proof. Pope will be having a terrible, terrible May. Let's just scroll in just a little bit. Okay, so April 3rd, 2018, we have an anonymous individual asked if P equals Pope. And then Q comes back in response to that statement there. It puts in the kill brackets, Pope will be having a terrible May. Those who backed him will be pushed into the light. Dark to light, truth, Q. Okay? Pope will be having a terrible May. Then you come down here, and on May 2nd, 2008, Vatican official to face 2 separate sex crime trials, and soon. Now remember, this is May 2nd, 2008, and he told us in April 3rd, 2018. April 3rd, 2018. And May 2nd, oh, I said that wrong, didn't I? May 2nd, 2018. So the next month, here comes the very thing that Q posted. We go up here toward the top. Actually, let me zoom that out. Okay, and then here we have May 18th, 2018. All the Catholic bishops in Chile have resigned over a sex abuse scandal. Okay, coming back over here one more time. Those who backed him will be pushed into the light. Dark to light, truth, Q. Okay, Pope and the people who backed him. Okay, coming over here. Cardinal George Pell to face trial on historical abuse charges. Posted April 2018, but April 30th. Remember, the Q posted it April 3rd, so before it ever hit the newsstands. The Vatican has paid nearly $4 billion to settle for children harmed by sexual abuse. Okay, May 9th, 2018. Pope Francis hints he may retire. May 5th, right? Pope will be having a terrible May. That's what he said in the Q drop. May 15th. Then we have Pope Francis on Chile's sexual abuse scandal. I was part of the problem. And this was posted May 2nd, 2018. The Pope had a terrible month of May. How many coincidences until it is mathematically impossible? Now that's the only 2 posts I'm going to go over right now. But what I'm going to do is go off and on. Every now and again, I'll put a video out that is only Q proofs. Like I did, I gave you the overall picture of what has happened and what is happening with using nothing but a Q proof. A very powerful video that literally gives you a big overall picture of what's going on. Okay, Q proofs are very, very important. In the next video, I'm probably going to show you the Godfather situation that's been going on, and it involves the Vatican. Remember, the Vatican created Islam in order to create the turmoil over there in the Middle East and create all the problems. But the Vatican created Islam, okay? And Islam is what they're trying to flood down through your southern border of the United States of America. That's what the game plan was if Hillary went into office. But there's a Godfather that sits over all this stuff, and that's what we'll go into in the next video. I'm debating because it keeps coming up in the comments over and over again. People, the mystery of God the Father and God the Son. Would you guys like to see a video that unravels the mystery of God the Father, God the Son? Are they one and the same? Are they two individuals? Are they two different entities? Or are they literally the one and the exact same individual or exact same entity? It's a mystery, and people go back and forth in the comments. Some believe they're one entity, and some believe they're two separate entities. It's a mystery. The Bible tells us it's a mystery, and He's the one that reveals mysteries. It's just like the second seed line that exists. That's a mystery to the average person. It's a mystery because we're caught up in lies and deceptions and programming, and simply can't see reality because we don't get in the book. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, guys. Just let me know if you would be interested in a video to unravel the mystery of the Son of God and the Father and the Son. And in the next video, I'll be going over basically the Godfather situation that's on the earth right now. So I'll talk with you guys later. Remember, get in the Word, stay in the Word, get the Word in you. It's the most important thing you can possibly do, guys. It really and truly is. It is literally a light that shines as a path for your feet so you can see where to go and what's going on. It allows you to see in the midst of all this darkness that is transpiring all around us. All the lies, all the deceptions, all the wizardry, all the sorcery, all the necromancing where they raise up the dead spirits, all the spell casting, witchcraft, all the different things that go on the earth by the children of the wicked one. And the only way really that you can find stable ground is to stand upon the Word and literally run into the Lord, because it's a strong tower to run into. When troubles arise, you do your part, you do your righteousness, you stand in righteousness, and you do what you can. And if troubles come, you run to the Lord, because He's a strong house. He's where you go when troubles come. The Word is absolutely and critically important, and no matter what people want to believe, it's the truth. The Word, not religion. And if you have religion, you got to get rid of it. Okay, I consider myself a Christian, but I'm not part of Christianity. Okay, I consider I'm a Christian because Christ in me, Christ in. Okay, but not a part of the religion. You have to get rid of all religion in order to get back into reality and into truth. The truth is what sets you free, because you're programmed. I'm programmed. We're all programmed. So the truth sets you free from the enslavement that you're under. They have conquered us. They have controlled our minds through schools, through churches, through news, through movies, through TV shows, you name it, superstars, through your singers, rappers, all your artists, all your entertainment, which is sports. They control you. In every direction, they're controlling your mind. And that's what they do. Because remember, the curse that fell upon the serpent when he beguiled Eve was that he'd go on his belly and dust he will eat all the rest of his days. Okay, he has no arms, he has no feet, he is a worm. That's what he is. That's who they serve. That's how stupid these people are. He has no power, no nothing. The only power he has is the power of influence, the power to control the mind. Okay, he's nothing more than a worm. He's got no feet, no arms, no nothing now. He's slithering around. He's nothing but a worm. And that goes deep. If you start looking at scars and things like Obama's head and things like that, he's a worm. Okay? That serpent in the beginning that beguiled Eve is now a worm. Period. No matter how you look at it. And that's who they serve. Unbelievable, I know. But this is reality. These people are absolutely sick. They're evil. And they are stupid. Very stupid. They are enveloped and encompassed roundabout in darkness. And when light or truth or fire, which is truth, shows up, they're done. They scatter, but it doesn't matter. We will find them, and they will face justice. Period. They are wicked. They are not of the creation of the Father. They're not like you and I in any way, in any form, or any fashion. Yes, they look like us. They talk like us. There's no way to tell by looking at them, but they are not like us. They belong to the Father, the devil. Period. This is a battle between good versus evil, between God and Satan. Okay, not between you and Satan, between God and Satan. But remember, Jesus handed the kingdom over to you, to us, to the children of the kingdom. He gave you power over the serpent and over the scorpions. Okay, we have the power now. And then when he returns, we hand it back to him. He's in charge. He's King of Kings. King of Kings. You're a king. And a priest. Believe it or not, you are a king and a priest. He is the King of Kings. Okay? You're very important. You are extremely important. No matter what you've been told, no matter what you believe, this is reality. You are very, very important. And every child is very, very important. And what these guys are doing to these children, there's not going to be any mercy from the Lord on this. There's not. It's unbelievable. It's sad. And I pray every day for protection. You know what I pray for? I pray that the people that abduct these children, or anybody, I don't care if it's a children or a teenager, a baby, a child, a teenager, or an adult. What I pray for is that anybody that attempts to abduct anybody, another person in any way, form, or fashion of any age, that they go ahead and abduct the person but not get very far, and that a sound be provided by the angels, a loud sound that directs every person's eyes in the area upon that person that's abducting the other person. And at that point, that both of their legs would break and they would be incapable of getting away, so that the authorities can come and arrest them. That's my prayer. Okay, that's how I war. That's how I battle. Okay, I battle against the enemy every day. This enemy is a real enemy, guys, and real things are happening on the earth. You're talking about child sacrifice. You're talking about taking a knife and filleting the face off of people. Okay, you're talking about eating people, cannibalism. You're talking about hybridizations that are taking place. Okay, where you're not just dealing with just humans, but part human and part something else. Okay, super soldiers, all these different things. That's them. They're wicked. Everything they do is wicked. Okay, that was the problem in the days of Noah. This is why he had to bring out the flood and wipe out all life, is because every thought of every living thing was continually wicked. There weren't no true people left other than Noah. And so he saved Noah and the animals and put them in a boat and wiped it out and started again. He said he literally repented. Literally repented. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I love you guys. Get in the Word, stay in the Word, get the Word in you. Remember, other than the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the two most important things are love and truth. After that, peace and justice. Peace and love be with all of y'all.